Well, hello there! Welcome once more to Quantra's Kitchen. And if this is your first time stepping by, I'd like to say a very warm akwaaba to you. Today I'm sharing with you the recipe for this crunchy, delicious coated peanut or candied peanut, the perfect accompaniment for your chips and your pound cake. I hope you truly enjoy this recipe. So I have here my peanuts. These are raw peanuts and it's a pound each, so I'm using 2 of those. I have some sugar, flour, 2 eggs, some nutmeg, and salt. And I also have some water. These are all the ingredients you need, plus oil for deep frying. Okay, to start, I'm going to pre-cook or parboil my peanuts. So I have a pot of water on fire. It's already boiling, and I'm just going to empty the contents of both packets of granules in here. I'm just going to quickly stir this and cover it and let this cook for 6 minutes. So 6 minutes is all you need to cook this because you're just partly cooking it. It's not going to be all the way cooked for you to eat it, but this is just a good way for you to start your peanuts so it fries beautifully. So I've set out this tray and I'm going to line it with a kitchen towel, and then I'm just going to strain my peanuts straight from the pot onto the kitchen towel. And that way it's going to stay there and give off all the moisture, because you want the peanuts to be all the way dry, very dry, and cooled off before you start frying. And of course, you could also just do this in a colander or a strainer, straight in your sink, and then transfer it into a dry surface like a kitchen towel and let it just cool off there, and it will come out totally dry as well. So you're going to let this sit for a minimum of half hour, because by then it would have cooled off and hopefully be dry. And if it's not all the way dry, you could always use that kitchen towel to dry it off more. So whilst this is drying, I'm just going to start putting my oil in my pot, and I'm going to let it start heating up. Now let's focus on the coating for the peanuts. So that is my flour in my mixing bowl. I've added my sugar, nutmeg, salt, and I'm just going to quickly mix this and set it aside. So there we go. And now I have cracked my 2 eggs. So I'm just going to quickly mix this as well so it is very well mixed up. And I'll be adding my water to this. So I'm adding the water gradually, and everything, all the ingredients here are listed in the right quantities for you in the description box. So that's it. I've added all the water, and I'm just going to give it one more whisk. And here we are. Make a little well inside your dry ingredients and gradually begin to mix the liquid ones in with the dry ones, just like this. So regarding the sugar, you can add more sugar to this. This is not all the way too sweet, but if you want your peanuts to be very sweet, then you would want to adjust your sugar at this point when you taste it. So I've added the very last of my liquid to this, and at this point I'm going to bring in the granules and start mixing it up. And as you can see from that corner, and even here in the bowl, it is thoroughly dried, and that's how you want it to be. And whilst it dried, I tried to pick out all the skins that, some of them peeled off in the cooking process. So I tried to pick out all those skins as much as I could, so I could have everything, like just the actual granules in here now. And now I'm just going to pour out everything in here and mix together. So like I said in my chips video, like in any chips, chips, you can have those kind, like the chips without this, and they are like bedfellows, they go together. And I love to have all three, like my cake, my peanuts, and my chips together. And this, because I love to serve it with my cake, I try not to make it too sweet. But if you like it all the way sweeter, like I said, just add a little bit more water. So my oil is very hot at this point, considering when I started to warm it up or heat it up. And I'm just quickly adding my granuts, and I'm going to be frying in batches. So you use your discretion at this point to see how much your oil can cover. You want it to be all submerged in the oil when it's cooking. So I'm just putting a few in here, making sure it's completely covered. And I was stirring as I put that in. You want to stir just a little bit, just like this, to separate the granuts, because the batter or the mixture that is in to coat it is going to cake everything up if you don't stir it as soon as you put it in. So as soon as they are in the oil, quickly give it a stir, making sure they are all separated, and then you let it fry up a little bit before you start messing with it. And so about 3 minutes into the frying time, you would come in and stir once more, and continue to stir every now and then until your peanuts or your granuts are beautifully fried, golden brown, and at that point you will know it is done. And one thing that is very important for me to tell you, if you taste this granite whilst it's cooking on fire at any given time, even when it's golden like this, if you took a couple and then you set them aside and they didn't cook all the way and you wanted to test to see if it was cooked, you'd be deceived to say it's not, because it's going to be soft. There will be no crunchiness to it, and you might think it's going to crunch up in the oil, but no, it's going to crunch up as it cools off. So at this point, it is all done. Even though when I taste it, I know I don't even have to, because I've done this so many times. I know it's going to be like soft and there's no crispiness to it. It will feel like it's not done, how you would want it when it's being served to you, but it's really done. So trust me, I'm just going to bring them out of the oil at this point, and of course it's going to fry up more with the residual heat even when I transfer it onto my plate. So I have a plate lined with kitchen towel, paper towel, and that is where they're going. And if you continue to taste it as it sits there, gradually you come to a point where one of them, like a bite that you take, will be very crunchy and perfect, because at that point it would have cooled off just like it should be. So bear that in mind, and don't expect to cook this in the oil till it crisps out, because then you're going to totally burn everything. So just look at that, golden. So I'm going to set this aside and fry up the next batch. And of course, I'm trying to clean up the oil just a little bit to get some of these crumbs out, so it does not burn and make the next batch look burnt or undesirable. So in goes the second batch, and I think I'm going to be able to fry up everything in just 2 batches. And so just like I told you, I quickly stir, because you don't want this to cake up in the oil. That would turn into fried peanut brittle, in katike kayachi, and that's not what we are trying to do. I don't even know if there's anything like that. So this is the first batch. I just transferred it onto a wider surface, so I made another tray ready, lined it with paper towel, and I have it there, and it's cooled off at this point. Like right now, when I taste it, it's perfect. It's dried, it's crunchy, and it's beautifully cooked. So the next batch is all done now, and I'm going to put them on the tray as well. But first, they go here on a plate lined with paper towel, and I'm just going to let it cool off just a little bit. This is so simple, easy to make, and very, very delicious. Like I made this earlier on in the week. I'm sorry, there's been a lot going on, a busy life, mom life. That's why this is coming a little bit later to you. But I took some to work, and my colleagues, of course, loved this. And this is going to be the perfect gift for you to give to your friends. Your chips, your cake, and your granuts. up nicely packaged. Make little hampers with that and give to your friends for the holidays, and of course for you at home to enjoy, and whoever comes to visit. This is good, and I really hope you're able to give this a try. I know you will love it. And until I come your way next time with something delicious, be loving, be kind, be happy.